welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Canal Algérie Midnight News, and these are our top stories. The President Abdelmajid Tebboune received the Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Portuguese Republic, Paulo Rangel, and his delegation. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, sent a message of thanks and gratitude to Xi Jinping, President of the People's Republic of China, who had congratulated him following the launch of the Alsat 3B satellite. The President of the Republic also received a phone call from Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister of Italy. The Algerian army operations against drug trafficking led to the dismantling of 2 criminal networks in Algiers and in Bashar. Welcome back. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received this Tuesday Portuguese Minister of State and Foreign Affairs, Paulo Rangel, and his accompanying delegation. The meeting was attended by the Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the National Community Abroad and African Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, the President's Advisor for Communications, Kamal Sidi Said, the President's Advisor for Diplomatic Affairs, Ammar Abba, Algeria's Ambassador to Portugal, Said Moussa. After his meeting with the President of the Republic, the Portuguese Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, made the following statement.
I would like to express our thanks. I will speak with some emotion, because being received by the President of the Republic is a unique honor for us. I will also convey to the Portuguese people and the government, highlighting the very special relationship that exists between Algeria and Portugal and between the Algerian Portuguese people. I had a very in-depth and detailed meeting with my counterpart, the Minister. Naturally, concluding my visit with a meeting with the President of the Republic is a strong and visible sign for the Portuguese people, and it is truly exceptional. I must say that the political relations are excellent, and economic relations already have a long tradition, and they continue to grow.
The Portuguese Minister of State and Foreign Affairs also highlighted the international developments tackled during this meeting, as well as shared concern issues, including the situation in Gaza and in the Sahel region.
Un peu sur les situations internationales, notre préoccupation avec le Moyen-Orient.
We also discussed international developments, our shared concerns regarding the Middle East, particularly Gaza, as well as conflicts in Africa, notably in Sudan, the Congo, northern Mozambique, and the situation in the Sahel, which likewise raises serious concerns for us. We also addressed the very important relationship between Algeria and the European Union, and the future vision for relations between the Mediterranean and the European Union, and among countries bordering the Mediterranean. I would say it was a very comprehensive meeting, later crowned by an audience with the President, during which we also discussed future political challenges. It was not only a meeting to review the fundamental foundations of the bilateral relations and the shared values between Algeria and Portugal, but also an opportunity to reflect on our hopes for the future of the Mediterranean societies and states, the challenges of the digital era, the aspirations of younger generations, and our responsibilities as political leaders and decision-makers in addressing them. In addressing the ambitions of the younger generation, I believe I have summarized our discussions from the morning meeting and again during the meeting with His Excellency the President. I am truly delighted to have visited Algeria and to have helped create the conditions to further strengthen relations that are already excellent.
The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, sent a message to the President Xi Jinping to the people of the People's Republic of China, and the message reads as follows. Mr. President and dear friend, I received with deep respect and gratitude the telegram of congratulations you kindly sent to us on the occasion of the successful launch of the Alsat 3 B satellite from Qingquan Launch Center in People's Republic of China. I wish to express to Your Excellency my sincere thanks for the genuine and noble feelings expressed in your message, reflecting the depth of relations uniting our two countries, characterized by a solid friendship and fruitful cooperation. As you are, I'm fully convinced that this achievement constitutes a significant contribution to the building of our historical relations, which are currently flourishing thanks to shared political will to strengthen the strategic partnership between our two nations. On this occasion, I can only reiterate to Your Excellency our sincere commitment and firm determination to continue working with you to achieve even greater success, accomplishments and gains in response to the aspiration of our two countries and our friendly people. While renewing my sincere thanks and high regards, I ask you to accept, Mr. President, my dear friend, my highest and profound esteem. The President of the Republic, Algérie Tebboune, received a phone call from the Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, on Tuesday. The two heads of state discussed bilateral cooperation between Algeria and Italy, a friendly country, as well as Euro-African summit. They also discussed efforts to combat illegal immigration and the Italian Prime Minister upcoming visit to Algeria scheduled after the month of Ramadan. This visit will provide an opportunity for the creation of Algerian-Italian Chamber of Commerce proposed by Giorgia Meloni. As part of efforts of combat organised crime and drug trafficking, units of the National Gendarmerie carried out two separate operations this Monday in Algiers within the 1st Military Region, dismantling two cross-border criminal networks specialising in illicit trade in psychotropic substances. The operation led to seizure of 4,292,000 psychotropic tablets, the arrest of 20 suspected traffickers, and the confiscation of 10 passenger vehicles, large sum of money, and other equipment used for the criminal activity. These actions form part of the Border Series operation aimed at preventing the smuggling and distribution of such substances and highlights the professionalism, vigilance and constant readiness of People's National Army across the country. The challenges now lies in mobilizing all segments of society to confront this serious threat and safeguard of the nation and youth. In the same context, and as part of efforts to strengthen border security and combat smuggling and organised crime, security forces continued operations launched on January the 27th in the Ghanama area of Bishar province within the 3rd Military Region. These operations resulted to the elimination of 3 armed drug traffickers of Moroccan nationality and the arrest of a 4th, as well as the seizure of firearm, binocular and 521 kilograms of proceeded keef. Whereas this Monday, a joint force from the Bishar military sector seized more than 280 kilograms of proceeded keefs, and in the same area, bringing the quantity intercepted to more than 8 quintals in total. The large volume seized within a short period and in same border zone highlights the scale of the threats facing our country and youth. The Ministry of National Defence stated that the operation once again demonstrated the high level of vigilance and readiness of the People's National Army across all its branches to confront all forms of threats. Instructed by the President of the Republic, the Prime Minister presided over the official opening of the proceedings of heads of consulars centres at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The event was attended by the Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, National Community Abroad and African Affairs, the President's Advisor for Diplomatic Affairs, and several members of the government, as well as Consul General, Consul and officials responsible for consular affairs. Rania Bahraid with the details.
This seminar, held nearly 3 decades after its first edition, reflects the President of the Republic's commitment to protect Algerians abroad, including the decision to regularize the situation of Algerian youth living overseas in difficult or illegal conditions. Today's changes require modern ways of working for consular and diplomatic staff, moving beyond traditional roles to become a driver of development. This seminar aims to study different ways to help consular officials improve services, defend the interests of Algerians abroad, protect Algeria's image overseas, and enable the diaspora to play an active role in national development. This seminar was long awaited, as it hasn't been held for more than 25 years. It offers a valuable opportunity for all consular heads to meet, share experiences, and improve reception and services for the national community abroad. The event provides an interactive platform with workshops focused on administrative procedures, digitalization, and strengthening the economic role of consulates. The opening of this seminar once again shows the state's strong commitment to Algerians abroad, inspired by President Abdelmadjid Tebboun's comprehensive vision to protect the diaspora and involve it in national renewal. This presidential commitment is being translated into concrete initiatives and decisions for citizens overseas. The main challenge for the consular network is to rise to this level of responsibility by responding to the concerns of Algerians abroad and offering practical solutions, especially in economic and cultural fields.
Ségolène Royal's visit to Algiers made headlines in France, facing the far-right attacks. The president of France-Algérie Association and former minister highlighted Algeria as a reliable strategic partner and warned that France risks being sidelined internationally. Najah Tiyar.
By confronting the facts, the president of the France-Algeria Association exposed the contradictions of the French narrative, which often presents a distorted and selective version of reality. Back in the Hexagon after a 5-day visit to Algeria, Ségolène Royal was unsurprisingly heavily solicited by the French media outlets. Faced with accusatory questioning, she stood firm on her positions, forcefully dismantling the claim that Algeria bears primary responsibility for the breakdown in the bilateral relations.
Tous les pays s'entendent avec l'Algérie, l'Italie.
All countries have good relations with Algeria, Italy, Spain, Germany, which has just signed a green hydrogen contract to be exported to Germany. All countries get along with Algeria except France, even though we are the ones who share the most painful, but also the most deeply rooted common history between our two communities. We share the Mediterranean as a common heritage. What I observe is this. Right after my meeting, the audience with the President Tebboune was with the envoy of the President of the United States of America, who came to invest in Algeria. Moving beyond the controversy, Ségolène Royal reframed the debate through a strategic and economic lens, underscoring Algeria's emergence as a credible partner, actively engaged in cooperation and regional alignment.
Le premier conseil, c'est de faire un
The
geste.
first piece of advice is to make a gesture of reconciliation and recognition. Algerians are not asking for financial compensation as other formerly colonized countries have done. Other colonial powers have made this recognition and have issued an apology.
Cette demande de pardon.
It was on the memory issue, however, her remarks signaled a far more sensitive turning point. By reopening a file long avoided in France, she delivered a clear warning. Without a shift in its political and media posture, Paris risks marginalization and the collapse of any prospect for renewed dialogue with Algiers.
And severe flooding is ravaging several regions in northern Morocco, leaving many families homeless and facing extremely harsh living conditions. Ikram al-Qadi.
Unfortunately, severe weather continues to bring sorrow and suffering to many communities across Morocco. Populations are often exposed to the risk of the flooding and forced to move, revealing the fragility of infrastructure, particularly in isolated areas. A sad reality that stands in clear contrast to the polished image the Mahsen seeks to project.
We were forced to leave. The situation simply did not allow us to sleep. The complete absence of calm made any rest impossible. Early in the morning, floods hit the area. On site, we found neither civil defense units nor anyone to help us. Entire families, including children, were left stranded. It was this flotation device that saved us. The rising water reached a height of 2 to 3 meters.
The harshness of winter did not prevent the Mahsen from forcibly evicting increasingly desperate residents.
Our children are drowning. It's a disgrace. At this rate, we are going to die.
We lost everything, especially our inner peace. We lost our appetite and our sleep. We are tormented. We do not know what tomorrow will bring. Even if we lose hope, we keep our faith in God.
The authorities are pushing us to leave the area, but we have nowhere to go.
For these populations, the situation worsens day after day, plunging them into immeasurable distress.
That was the Midnight News. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay tuned on Canal Algérie. Bye for now.